This is just something funny, that popped into my head that, I wanted to talk about. All narcissists are cats because of you're nice to them, they hurt you. If you're mean to them, they hurt you. Cats, if you know anything about cats, they get what's called petting fatigue. If you pet them long enough, they hurt you. Now, a narcissist, when you're nice to them because they hate themselves, they hurt you. Or your kindness makes them feel like shit because they can't be kind. It's impossible for them. They can't be good people. The only time they're good is when they're virtue signaling. That is their only capabilities. They cannot honestly help other people in a good conscience. That is why the philosophy of this church I go on about is suffering. Hurt them as much as you can. It's good for them. It turns them into a complete piece of shit. Like myself. That is the philosophy of a narcissist. Misery for misery's sake. But, yeah, Stu, when I was in high school, asked me a series of questions about, serious fucking, things, and I was giving him answers, and while I was doing that, the blue-eyed guy and Stu and the rest of this stupid fucking cult were secretly poisoning me with heavy metals to make me stupider because I was smart. And they perceive me as smart. I myself never perceived myself as intelligent, but these people perceive me as very intelligent. And Stu made me stupid, and then when I ran out of answers, he ordered the blue-eyed guy to murder me, which the blue-eyed guy didn't for whatever fucking reason. I'm not even gonna pretend to understand these people. They don't make any fucking sense, but, that was followed by Officer Fred, who wanted me to help him, develop through the emotionally stunted shit. And what did he do? Poisoned me with heavy metals, and I couldn't help him develop past the emotionally stunted shit because he made me stupid with heavy metals. This same shit came up again at the 92 Wendy's when I was talking about the complexities of self-hating racism and the black people that work there. They poisoned me with heavy metals and then asked me for the solution they needed, and I couldn't give it to them because I was stupid on heavy metals. Now, one, this is cruelty because I think part of it is them trying, you're stupid! I'm gonna prove it to you by making you stupid! Like, if you think like that, like in this church, the first thing you need to accept among everything else, you drink lead, you're stupid. Okay, you cannot be intelligent. You have lowered your IQ significantly. You look it up. You don't believe me? Look it up. Lead lowers your IQ. You're stupid. And it doesn't matter how smart you are in this church. I don't give a fuck how many tricks you've learned, how much shit you're dumb. That is a fact. You can't escape it. Okay? Anyways, so toward the end of this, when Blondie poisoned me, Blondie, Rachel Johnson's mother, all the bastards in Ackworth poisoned me with heavy metals till I was retarded to teach me a lesson and get me to sign the perjury so they could get back to raping babies and human trafficking, in murdering people for no fucking reason and screaming they're the victims in it because apparently that makes everyone feel amazing. The people afterwards, even the United States government, this isn't a joke, I won't say the names of the officials that contacted me, but top officials in the United States government contacted me about dealing with these people. Yeah, because they knew the perjury signing was bullshit. They knew something else had happened, and nobody could quite put their finger on it. And it's kind of ironic because I told them, like, the way this church makes more of themselves is by poisoning people with lead. That lead alters your psychology. And they treated it like a joke. Yes, officials in the Senate of the U.S. government thought lead poisoning was a joke until they found out it's where psychopaths came from. It's where ADD comes from. It's where ADHD comes from. It's where OCD comes from. It's where all these mental disorders come from, is exposure to heavy metals. And then suddenly, I wasn't stupid. And here's the thing, I was at my dumbest when I said that. That was followed by, I remember, I don't know who this girl was. She just hung around Ackworth, I guess. She didn't really, and I kind of get it. Nobody really knew what to do after I signed the perjury for these people. A lot of people came to me like I was some wise guy. And I was retarded on heavy metals. It started asking me questions. And it was anything from, do I just let them take me? Do I run and hide? Miss Hannah Minks, believe it or not, she was kidnapped by these two really popular brothers. I think they killed her. But basically, she was terrified and didn't want to go back. And I told her simply, don't go back, just run. And I was like, run because you're free. And I was like, inevitably they're going to catch you. Like, whatever fucking shit. And I told this other girl, just stay away from them and hide. And I remember Blondie fucking, because they were listening in on my phone calls. These people called, the church was listening on my phone calls. Blondie was like, stop telling them to run and hide. Tell them to just surrender so we can beat them and rape them and hurt them more. You're hurt. You're getting them killed. And I was just, fuck you, Blondie. And I remember no, you gotta let me have my way. And just fucking, he's a bastard. Like I said, the biggest mistake the Utah Angels made is when they trusted him. And they still trust him. Trust me. They still think he's amazing. But yeah, that bastard kept harassing me about the advice I was giving out to these people that called. And it wasn't just them, there were guys that called that didn't know what to do. There was a couple women that apparently, this was funny though, they called and they had gone broke, apparently. They went completely broke after the church collapsed, and they were eager and happy to go back into human trafficking, which I guess is extreme Stockholm syndrome. They called on advice for living with and dealing with a narcissist. That they loved having the money, they loved having the power, they could not handle living with a narcissist. That the issue with them was the narcissistic power dynamic. That they were constantly under the threat of death, and that was wearing them out. Yeah, so which I recommended reaching out to an actual psychological advisor. Unfortunately for these people, the only psychological help they can get are retards from this church that are retarded. You can't talk to them. One of my favorites is there's a dude, they're pretty popular on YouTube now, but I still remember when that guy called and he was like, religion can't cause mental issues or trauma. That's impossible. Get raped in the ass. Emotionally stunted immediately. Okay, that's trauma, and that's religion. That's a lie. You're lying. And you need to admit you're lying. And you should probably do an entire episode on your show about how dangerous and stupid religion is and why it needs to go away forever. But they're too proud. That's the thing. Even A Sound of Freedom man, I still remember him when he was like, they must have just wore you out. No, they poisoned me with heavy metals till I was retarded. They didn't wear me out. They poisoned. Well, they did wear me out. Part of the tactic was to keep me working, so I was working like, I had one day off, and I was constant. You're working all the time, and and there's assholes poisoning you with heavy metals. I'm one tough son of a bitch, but that shit does eventually wear you out. And I remember this dude contacting me, and literally, I don't even know why he did this. He was like, this is the tactic the church got you with. We took over your workplace, we exhausted you, and then we kept poisoning you with heavy metals until you were so mentally and emotionally spent, you signed the perjury, blah, 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 and I didn't understand what was going on, because I was so far gone, I didn't understand what I did. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so I'm stupid on heavy metals, and everybody keeps coming for me for smart people advice. I don't know why you guys were all asking me for intelligent advice after I was stupid on heavy metals. If you wanted smart people advice, this was going to sound very condescending. You should have given me chelation therapy. But if I gave you bad advice and you got killed, that's because I was stupid on heavy metals. I just, like I said, I think about this shit, in regards to this. It does crack me up on every level of my mind, honestly. That so many people were coming to me while I was stupid. And here's the thing. You might go, Bobby, it's not funny. It is funny. Because they knew I was stupid on heavy metals. The church told them. They were aware that I was stupid on heavy metals. And they still asked me for advice. Okay? Yeah. And it's hilarious because they go, help me, But also, don't use your intelligence. Whatever you do, don't use your intelligence, because we're going to take that from you. And this is a pattern I find. I guess maybe it's a narcissistic thing for them to go, help me, but also you're not allowed to have courage. Also, you're not allowed to have assets. Also, you're not allowed to have money. Also, you're not allowed to have this. You're not allowed to have that. You're not allowed, you're not allowed, you're not allowed. And this shit with the individualization, one of the things is, according to Jung, in order to reach your highest self, you have to have sex with a woman. Something I'm not allowed to do because this church will murder her. Now, Annalite Mummy God said, you gotta individualize. Okay, you have to have sex with a woman. That's a setup for failure, by the way. And this is what stupid brain looks like. When you have a lead brain, you make mistakes like that. This is why these people are really good at learning tricks. The other day, one of these guys approached me and he was using really big, complex language, and I just eye-rolled because that's just insecurity personified. I was just, okay, you gotta pretend to be smart because you know you drink lead and you're fucking stupid. Like, whatever, man. Trust me, you're not gonna reason with people that thinks it's a good idea to throw out their values and then scream they're the victims and everything. Yeah. Just that. I just thought it was funny that, once again, all these people were coming to me for advice, asking me to fix this or help them with that, and I was stupid on heavy metals, and they actually thought I could help them. This is gonna sound really stupid. I find in life, if you help other people, they can help you. Yeah, if one of you people would have just given me EDTA, this conversation, this hilarious little thing I'm doing right now wouldn't be a thing, but it's a thing. The curse of being an intelligent person, and I don't even consider myself super intelligent, by the way, is stupid people aren't gonna let you be intelligent because they can't handle the truth, and the truth is they're fucking stupid.